It's less than 2 weeks since Altrincham got promoted to the National League with that fantastic victory at the Jakeman Stadium against Boston United. And tonight we're announcing our first new signings for the 2020-21 season. I'm very pleased to welcome Ritchie Sutton to Altrincham Football Club. Welcome, Ritchie. You've just signed, just had your medical. So first of all, tell us how the move has come about.
Yeah, well, obviously it's been a long summer for everyone. Luckily, you got some games in with the playoffs and a great result getting back into the National League. But yeah, it was about being in contact with the manager over the summer for a few months. He wanted to know what I was doing, and he was looking to try and bring me on board. So I'm just delighted to get over the line, really, and look forward to the start of the season, which is going to be a good one in the National League.
And you're a very experienced player, and you played against Altrincham a number of times before, most notably I think 4 appearances for Stafford Rangers against Altrincham back between 2006 and 2008.
Yeah. Well, that was quite a long time ago. It was I think I played right back in them days, and had some great battles, some great results, and it was always even games. So yeah, I played against Altrincham a few times, including the Tranmere game where you beat us here 3-2, and also when I was on loan at Barrow, another tight game. So I know all about the club, I know what it's like to play here, and I know the expectations of the not only the club but the manager. So I'm excited to get started.
And you started off at Crewe and in non-league, but you've got a long list of clubs in the Football League as well, so you're a very, very experienced individual.
Yeah, well, I started my trade back at Crewe Alexandra, which is always a good place to start. And then I think for a lot of players, it's the making of people when they drop down into the non-league. You sort of learn your trade, and it makes you become a man in football, really. So then obviously I played at a few clubs in the non-league, and then luckily got a break to a league club at Port Vale, which sort of kick-started my career and getting some good experience and a lot of appearances under my belt.
And you went into the Football League as champions with Mansfield as well, and I think you were Player of the Year for Mansfield the following season.
Yeah. Well, I was Player of the Season, but when I picked up the trophy on the pitch, I got sent off after 60 seconds, so it was a mixed bag in them getting that game. All the family watching, but it was a great season for me, and which allowed me then to further my career, and then moving on to Tranmere Rovers.
And you certainly don't you're not frightened of a challenge, because you've had a few red cards in your career.
I have, yeah. I think I've got them out of the way now, because the last few seasons I've only got a couple of yellows, so I've sort of matured a little bit. But when I used to play at Altrincham Town, I was a little bit hot-headed, to say the least. But I think as you get older, you get more experienced, and you learn that it's irresponsible to be doing things like that, and you've got to look for the team and the club and perform professionally. And
you can play either centre-back or right back. Have you got any particular preference?
Yeah, as I've got older, I've been more settled at right centre-half, and I played under some good managers who have sort of coached me that position very well. So I'd say that I was an accomplished centre-half, and that's where I'm looking to apply my trade here.
And last season you were at Tranmere, and then you went off to Morecambe. They had a pretty difficult season, and that's a club that's been in a little bit of turmoil recently.
Yeah, it was one of them clubs that were always sort of stabilising themselves in League Two. I know they did well under Jim Bentley, but I think when he left, it had a change of manager, and it was just a complete different style of play, which may be what the club needed. But when a new manager comes in, first and foremost, they've got to stabilise the club, and I think with recruitment in the summer, I think they will actually do all right next year.
As well as getting promotion to the Football League with Mansfield, you achieved the same with Tranmere, and that was quite an infamous game. I think Tranmere had a player sent off inside a minute, and you played in that game but were injured and I think came off at half-time.
Yeah. Oh, the playoff final, sorry.
The Borough Mud, yeah.
It was. I was having an Achilles problem before the weeks leading up to the game, but there was no way I was going to miss the final. I was making sure that I was fit, and it was actually something different that sort of kept me out of the game. But it was one of them games that I'll never forget. Obviously, the way everything went, man sent off after a minute, like you said. We went 1-0 up, and then I came off injured. As I went down the tunnel, with the injury, they scored as well. So you're thinking 10 men, rest of the game to go back to the walls, but Norse came up with the goods again like he did all season. It was just an amazing day.
What do you know about what Altrincham have been up to since Phil Parkinson has been here?
Yeah, well, I've known Phil for a long time, and I've always kept an eye on how he's been doing when he was playing and when his coaching career started. So it's I always keep a close eye on people I know and clubs that I've played for. So obviously I understand the relegations, and then obviously when the gaffer take over, he's done wonders for this club over the last 3 years, back with two promotions, getting the club to back where they should be, and hopefully now we can stabilise ourselves in this league, and who knows, push for that top 7 playoff places next season.
And do you know any of the current Altrincham squad?
I know a few. I've played against quite a lot. So I used to play with Maltese brother at Mansfield. He came on loan. I played against Elliot Durrell quite a bit. And he's a very good player. And Mooney also, he had a short spell training with Morecambe, so I'm familiar with the faces, I'm familiar with the players. But I'm looking to get started and meeting them, and excited about the season.
And the Altrincham central defenders, Tom Hannigan and Toby Malarkey. Obviously, we've just lost James Jones, who's got a good move into the Football League with Barrow, but they're excellent defenders. I'm sure you're assuming that you can add to that.
Yeah, well, they're young defenders. The gaffers told me about them, and I watched them play in the playoff games. And they're very good players. But hopefully I can bring my experience and the things I've done in the game to sort of take them to the next level as well, and help the team.
So, National League, it's a league that you know very, very well. It's going to be a big step up for Altrincham.
It is, but it's somewhere that they've been before, and it's about bringing in the right people with the right experience, and the club's on a high. Momentum's massive in football, so hopefully we can start back pre-season. The season starts is still due for October. We can keep that momentum going, and I know from coming here in the past with big clubs like Tranmere, it's not an easy place to come. So we've got to sort of make this place our ground where we dig out results, and we make sure that teams don't want to come here.
Yeah, that was a particularly sad afternoon for Tranmere, just relegated from the Football League, and came along to the humble surroundings of the J. Davidson Stadium and went away with the tail between the legs that day. Yeah,
it was a lesson though, because Tranmere, it was their first year in non-league, so you have to perform at every different style of club. I don't know if they'd played against teams like Altrincham before, but they're tough places to go. And like I say, hopefully with my experience, I played a lot at this ground over the years. I played a lot of games at this level, so hopefully I can do well for the club, teammates and the manager.
That's the thoughts of Altrincham's new signing, Ritchie Sutton, who joins having left Morecambe at the end of last season. And Ritchie is Altrincham's first new signing of the season, and there'll be news of another one very, very shortly.